So God is a creator. Did God create the devil is what one person wants to know. And if heaven is perfect, how did the devil exist inside of heaven? So did God create the devil, Satan, Lucifer? And then you addressed this a little bit, I think, yesterday, but what would you say about that?
Yeah, God created everything.
Yep.
So God created the devil. I think that's a pretty simple question to answer. Origins of the devil are a little bit slippery. There are some places in Job where we see God and the devil interacting in heaven or in somewhere in the heavenly sphere. We see Ezekiel chapter 28, where we have a story about the king of Tyre, which might be an allegory to the origins of Satan. We've got some places in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation that seem to allude to that as well. And people will put together those and try and piece them together into an origin of Satan story, which in my mind is pretty slippery and ambiguous. There's so much symbolic language that's there that I just think we need to be cautious in overstating what we know about that origin.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I've heard in the church around Satan, and a question was asked around this, is Satan omnipresent? And I think one of the things that we kind of mix up is that he's not.
That's right.
Satan is limited in his power, and he's probably not the one, sitting on your shoulder, tempting you, tapping your shoulder. I think Satan really has one question that he's tempted people with throughout time and history. It was the same one with Genesis 3 that he asked Adam and Eve, did God really say? And that question is asked maybe not in those specific words, but to us all the time.
Yeah.
And trying to get us to doubt what God's goodness and God's plan and the way that God did things. And so Satan is limited in power. And I think sometimes we actually unknowingly give Satan way more credit than he deserves for the mistakes that we make or the temptations that we have. He is not sitting there tempting us with everything that's happening inside of our life. Can he? I think so. But there's billions of people in the world, and he cannot be in billions of people's ears at one time. And he does have demons that are real, that are on his team, that are working in him, that I think that possess people even today, and do a lot of crazy things inside of people that are very real. But I think sometimes we give him too much credit and too much power by thinking he's an omnipotent being, omnipresent being like God. And so somebody had that question, and I think that's worth addressing as well.